the gold medal match. But let's not put the cart before the horse. Let's get set right now for the men's team bronze medal match here in Wroclaw, Poland, on the grounds of Centennial Hall. And there are the Italians coming out first out of the tunnel. The team from Italy scoring a surprisingly easy win over France this week. Then they finished 4 up on Spain before they were beaten by the United States, sending them to the bronze medal match. They will be led by Mauro Nespoli, who will team up with Luca Melotto and Amadeo Tonelli.
I had kind of an Italian lesson from that coach we just saw, Wiets van Alten. He's from the Netherlands, but he just moved to Italy to become their head coach, and he was telling me how they were teaching him how to speak Italian. And
you in turn taught me how to speak Italian.
He said, this is from the words of Wiets, if you see 2 letters together, like the 2 T's in Melotto, you have to pronounce it like there are 4 together. It's a very emphatic language, and I really love hearing it. But here we go, the team from Mexico stepping onto the field of play.
And I love the Spanish language. The Mexicans beating Belarus this week. Then they topped the Turkish team before losing a tiebreaker to the team from Korea. And there is the contingent from Mexico, cheering on Juan Rene Serrano, Luis Alvarez, the gregarious Luis Alvarez. There's Juan Rene Serrano in the middle, and on the right, Luis Alvarez. The world record, 233 points by Korea. That was in London back in October of 2011. Previous winners on the World Cup circuit this summer, it was France winning the gold medal in Shanghai. Then at stage 2 in Antalya, it was China. And the USA came away with the gold medal last month down in Colombia.
That was the bronze medal.
Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, bronze medal. In
the Mexicans
Medellin.
won the gold medal in Medellin.
That's what I think I was thinking. I think I was thinking that.
So first up is Mauro Nespoli, and talking with his coach again, learned that he is shooting the highest recurve bow weight of any archer at this competition.
How much would that be?
That is 60 pounds.
60.
60 pounds. I don't know how you get an arrow to tune with that bow weight, but he's doing it. And
just outside the 9 ring. Let's talk a little bit about that weight. The advantages, the disadvantages.
Well, the obvious advantage is to have a faster arrow that doesn't arc as high when it's going down range. And because it's faster, it carries more kinetic energy, it carries more momentum. So it's harder for the wind to disturb the arrow while it's flying.
So it's going to go where you intend it to go.
Exactly. The downfall is that it's such a high weight that your body could get tired from pulling that weight all the time. And you start, when you increase weight, you start to lose fine motor control, especially in your fingers, like the fingers that are holding onto the string. The best way to release a string is to relax your fingers, but you have to tense your fingers even more when you're holding 60 pounds. So it could be a detriment to shoot a higher poundage on that respect.
I suppose that would indicate that Mauro is a very strong gentleman.
It certainly looks like it. It looks like he's handling the weight really well. But I'm not sure if recurve equipment was ever made to shoot 60 pounds. I know that most bow companies only have limbs that go up to 50 pounds.
It's been working for this man, Mauro Nespoli, who will be in Paris at the World Cup final next month. Leading off right now for Team Italy, which leads by 1, 26-25, midway through the opening end.
And that's a 6 from Nespoli, and showing that 60 pounds really doesn't give you an advantage, especially in a wind that's blowing at 7 meters per second or 5 meters per second. It's tough. You still have to execute your shot properly. You can't just rely on your equipment. Still a strong shooter, though. I'm not going to put it past him that he's going to come back strong after that 6.
And here is Malotto, 22 years old and ranked 63rd in the world. The first bullseye of the match for Team Italy. So 51 points to open up the scoring for Italy in this match.
Mexico has a 4-point buffer.
And Alvarez shooting from the left side. Good grouping right now by Mexico.
Very good grouping.
Velez, 27 years old, has competed at all 4 stages this summer on the World Cup circuit.
A
little shaky, yeah. Held it together though.
It's a very good shot. Millimeter outside the 10 ring. I don't know why he has to be so nervous. He's made it this far.
I guess it's how much you score, not how you do it. And Juan Rene Serrano right around with his other teammates. Apparently they're really communicating very well. They're all on the same page.
In the same area on the target as well. Mexico's all off to the left side of the target, averaging about 9.2 at 9 o'clock. That one arrow from Italy from Nespoli in the 6th ring, I think cost them that end. But I mean, again, it's only 1-point deficit. They can still come back. Mexico has to shoot strong just to ward off a really strong really strong Italian team, and come back and increase their lead.
Well, everybody's come out with guns blazing here on Sunday morning. In the women's matches, in case you're just joining us, Denmark with a convincing win over the Russian Federation, 210 to 194. And moments ago, an upset as India knocked off Korea, 219 to 215. A very closely contested match until the 4th end when Kibo Bay fired a 6th that opened the door for India. And India went right through that door and scored a 4-point upset win. Right now, in the men's bronze medal match, it's Italy, I believe, on top by 1.
No, it's Mexico.
Mexico, excuse me. Mexico 52 to 51, yes. I have to trust my notes. Sun going behind a cloud for maybe the first time all weekend. It's been beautiful here in Wroclaw, Poland.
It was a little bit tougher to shoot on the qualification day for all of the recurve shooters because it was cold and it was windy and it was wet. And that's a really big wind that's blowing right now on Nespoli. See if you can hold it together. Keep it in the middle, buddy.
Well done.
Again, just fire a strong shot and it will go in the center.
That may be where those 60 pounds helped out. Amadeo Tonelli, 28 years old. He's in the 9 ring.
That wind is definitely picking up downrange.
And here is Malotto, who picked up a pair of gold medals last year at the European Grand Prix and was on the men's team that captured a bronze medal in Croatia in 2009 on the World Cup circuit. Not real pleased with that 7. A lot of discussion going on right now amongst the Italians, who had a very good day in compound yesterday. The women winning the gold medal, and of course Sergio Pagni getting the silver medal in his showdown with Pierre-Julien Deloche. Meanwhile, Mexico scores a 9 from Luis Alvarez. Now Luis Eduardo Velez with another 9.
Points.
And Juan Rene Serrano, silver medalist at stage 2.
He's also been 4th at the Olympics in 2008, so this is a very good, consistent, strong shooter.
And there you go, 9s across the board. So they pick up 2 points, yeah. (79-76) overall, and they lead by 2 points in this end. Of course, it is cumulative scoring. We'll get to the set system this afternoon when we get to the individual matches. But in the team competition, we just keep score. Nespoli with a 9. Nespoli, by the way, named the European Personality of 2012 in Rome last December. Quite the honor.
That's a pretty good honor.
Yeah. They have something like that up in Canada?
Not personalities. Everybody's fun in Canada.
Everybody's fun. Everybody's got personality.
Well, Italy just opening up a little bit right now. Mexico needs 22 points to maintain their lead.
So Italy scored 51 points in the first end, dropped down to 49 points here in the second end, and Mexico relentlessly continues to apply the pressure. Luis Alvarez, who was on the men's team that won the gold medal in Medellin last month. And here is Velez, who was on that same gold medal team in Medellin for the men. Posts an 8, but they've got a little room to play with right now. Although, as you've said before, you don't want to get too comfortable.
No, you don't. You still want to keep the intensity up no matter what your lead is. 5 seconds left for Serrano.
Yes.
Let it go with 3 seconds, and it wound up apparently in the 10 ring.
10 ring, yeah.
We'll trust our spotters, and if they tell us it was a 10, it was a 10. And there you see it looks like it was a 10 on the line. So Mexico with 106 points out of a possible score of 120. They score 54 points in this end. And they build the lead from 1 up to 6 as they outscore Italy by 5 points in this second end. So Italy on target number 2, struggling with that. And it seems as though the wind has gusted a little bit more when Italy's been shooting.
Yeah, it's sometimes unfair. Mother Nature can be really unfair sometimes, especially when you come up to full draw and you can just feel the wind picking up like crazy. And then when you see your competitors up at full draw and nothing's happening in the field of play, there's no wind or anything. So it's all the luck of the draw at that point.
Anybody who's played golf would understand and relate.
Exactly.
Sometimes you're in the backswing and all of a sudden the wind comes up. Doesn't matter how you strike that ball. And the same, I think, probably applies here as well.
But again, archers just need to trust themselves, trust their equipment, put the sight in the middle of the target and execute a clean shot.
So Italy and Mexico. Mexico taking a little bit of the drama, the suspense out of this match early on as they jump out to a 6-point lead, although we have seen stranger things happen. And by the way, looking at those fountains, we were here last night. If you ever have the occasion to be in Wroclaw, Poland, you have to come here in the evening when they put on an amazing water, light, and fountain show using those fountains out in that pond. It is absolutely astounding.
Kind of reminds me of Vegas at the Bellagio.
You know what? It's on par with the Bellagio, maybe even better.
Wow.
Maybe even better. I haven't been to the Bellagio in a little while, and maybe I need to go back down and check it out again. But tremendous show last night, and thousands of people here from Wrocław coming out with their families last night and surrounding the pond to watch the light show, the fountains and the beautiful water. Really quite the sight. Here in Poland, where Nespoli starts off with a bullseye.
Thanks.
Remember his name, Mauro Nespoli. We'll see him in Paris. Now it's up to his teammates. Starting with Tonelli. And Tonelli's in the 5 ring.
That arrow actually had a little bit of an odd flight as it left its bow. I caught a glimpse of it and it wasn't pointing the right direction. Say.
Melotto now, 22 years old.
Bravo, Luca, bravo.
And a better effort. So Mexico definitely in the driver's seat right now as Luis Alvarez draws it back.
You should note that the irony of Alvarez, he's got a nickname on the Mexican team, and it's Abuelo, which in Spanish translates to grandpa. But he's the youngest on the team.
And as I mentioned before, gregarious to say the very least. I was on the bus with the Mexican team the other day, and Luis is the life of the party. At least he was that day.
They're a very fun team to be around. They've got a lot of energy, and they always seem to be laughing and so carefree.
They have a great time, don't they?
They do. They really bond as a team, whereas a lot of other teams you see, the Recurve and the compounds, have this certain disconnect. Their whole team is always together, eating together, laughing together, having fun together. Long shot.
Paid off, yeah. Paid dividends for Juan Rene Serrano. I'll tell you another team that was fun to watch this week, and that was the South African compound team.
There's a bunch of fun guys.
Some big burly guys who were here and had a great time and got on a great run and got to the gold medal match and did quite well against the United States and only wound up losing by 2 points.
That's a pretty good margin against the guys from the U.S. That's a better shot.
Better result. Of course, the winds have died down to about 2 meters right now. So a little bit more favorable conditions for Team Italy, and they're shooting better. Malotto with a nice shot. So a 10 for Nespoli, a 9 for Tonelli, and then a 9 for Malotto to finish off this third end, which started with Mexico leading by 6. What will the lead be after the third end? You have to wonder after that 7.
It can still be as high as 8 points.
Velez, 27 years old. Great shot by Velez, who has a pair of team bronze medals in World Cup competition. Trying to improve on that and pick up his third. And is well on his way here today.
Ooh. Still a 5-point lead, but that's not the arrow you wanted to get it with.
Interesting. So that is the lowest scoring end for Mexico so far in this match, only 51 points. They came out, put a 52 spot on the board in the first end, 54 points in the second end, and now 51 points. And there you see the scoring for Italy, which has been consistent as far as the scoring in the end. And we'll take a look at the scores from Mexico. As we said, 52, 54, 51. So a total of 157 points right now for the team from Mexico, trying to pick up the bronze medal. So a 5-point margin with 6 arrows to go. And of course, the Italians trailing in the match will shoot first to start this fourth end. And another good look at the crowd there. Sergio Pagni and Marcella Tonioli in the top row. Not the front row, the top row. You'd think after all they've done this summer, they get front row seats.
Sometimes it's a better view from up there.
Yeah. Beautiful Sunday morning here in Wroclaw, Poland. Great place to kick back, relax, enjoy the water show, and the show that World Archery is putting on right now. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are, whether it's the middle of the night, the morning, the afternoon, wherever in the world you might happen to be. We're glad you're watching us and you're with us here on the live stream of Stage 4, the Recurve competition of the 2013 Archery World Cup circuit. Puffy white clouds. Temperature probably in the high 70s, maybe the 80s. Pretty much perfect conditions aside from the wind.
The gusty wind, yeah.
Yep.
If it was a more constant wind, it'd be a nicer wind to shoot in, but...
Is there any place that's known for having no wind that you can go and shoot? Seems like everywhere we shoot, there's you're going to have to contend with the wind.
Yeah, I think it's called, what's that?
Indoors? Yes.
Yeah.
Stay indoors?
Stay indoors if you don't want any wind.
It's great to be outdoors. Love the outdoor season. So 9 to start off the 4th and final end for the Italian team. And where did that wind up? There.
That was a 10 points.
10. Good start for Italy. Luca Malotto.
A little bit of a shake going on here. But still 9 points, a little high. Managed to finish that shot despite the shaking.
They've trailed by as many as 6. Started this end trailing by 5. Luis Alvarez trying to keep the pressure on Italy, and he does as he drills a bullseye. He's built like a bull. Big across the shoulders.
Yeah, he's he's just a wide guy. Helping him through that shot.
Velez with a bullseye. Velez been competing for 11 years. So quite a bit of experience on this Mexican team. Juan Rene began competing in 2003. And just outside that 10 ring.
He only competed in 2003 or started competing?
That's what his bio indicates, that he began competing internationally, I would guess.
Oh, depends on what your definition of international is, because I remember in 2001 I went to a U.S. Nationals
and you
competed alongside with him in 2001. So maybe on the senior circuit, but I'm not sure that, from my personal experience, I know that I've been competing with him since
longer,
2001.
huh?
For very long, yeah. Wow, he got away with that one.
And you'll testify to this in court.
Yes, I will. I think I might even have photo evidence. A lot of us were a lot thinner back then, too.
Oh, don't bring the pictures then. Last 3 arrows.
Points, 207 points. Not a bad score given the conditions.
So a look of resignation on the face of the Italian archers. You know, their fate, at least, rests in the hands of men like Luis Alvarez, Luis Eduardo Velez, and Juan Rene Serrano.
But the Mexicans will need these last 2 arrows to win the bronze medal.
So it's not over till it is over.
Again, shaking a little bit. 9 points.
Seems to work for Velez.
So a 5 or better, so anything inside the blue for Juan Rene Serrano will give them the victory. 10 seconds left.
Silver medalist at stage 2 in the individual match. Picked up men's team bronze medal in Antalya as well. A men's team gold medal at stage 3 in Medellin. And here in Wroclaw, Juan Rene Serrano, along with Luis Alvarez and Luis Eduardo Velez, pick up the men's team bronze medal as they defeat Italy. And now salute the crowd and their cheering section, their fans, their friends, and of course, you have to pose for the pictures. They capture a great moment for the team from Mexico.
Second World Cup in a row that they've come away with a team medal, so I think it's a picture-worthy event.
Now this was a rematch of last year's Olympic semifinal, which was won by Italy. Italy, of course, went on to win the gold medal at the Olympics. Of course, that was a different Italian team. Mauro Nespoli was on that team.
Yep, but he was joined by Michele Frangilli and
yes.
Galeazzo, I believe.
So a vastly different Italian team then, but it is nonetheless a rematch between the countries, and this time Mexico comes out on top. As you see the final score.